Look, there is the earth and there is someone on it, and that person is you. When you grow up, you want to be a bus driver, vet, or a police officer, or you want to fly in space and make music videos like Chris Hadfield. Or maybe this is you, a depressed teenager who has dropped out of high school and is suffering from crippling depression. Or maybe this is you, lying on your deathbed and trying to recite pi. But no matter how old we are or what dreams we have, I can be sure we all have something to learn. Before we go off venturing into space, we should first stop and learn about our own world. Question 1. Is the Earth flat? No, the Earth is not flat. We know that Earth can be divided into land and ocean. These land chunks are called continents. How many continents are there? 0, 2, 7, or 5? That's right. There are 7 continents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Third question. What are the names of the continents? The names of the continents are North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, Oceania, and Antarctica. Technically, this answer can vary. Some versions say the Americas, Europe, Africa, Asia, Oceania, and Antarctica. Some might say the Americas, Eurasia, Africa, Oceania, and Antarctica. And rarely some people say the Americas, Afro-Eurasia, Oceania, and Antarctica. Even though there isn't any technical land divide between Europe and Asia. Cultural differences place the continents apart. For example, Germans are more similar to Russians than they are to Chinese people, who are Asians. There also exists a series of geographical divides that separate continents. We have talked about land for now. So how about ocean? How much percentage of Earth is covered in water? 71% of Earth is covered in water. How many oceans are there? There are 5 oceans: the Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Southern and Arctic Oceans. Which of the following is a country? The first continent we will be talking about is North America. North America is bordered by the Pacific, Atlantic, and Arctic Oceans. The Rocky Mountains stretch all the way from British Columbia in Canada to Colorado in the United States. The Sierra Madre Mountains go from Mexico to Honduras. The Great Plains is located in the central part of North America. There are also a lot of peninsulas on this continent. A peninsula is a piece of land surrounded by water on 3 sides. The first country we will be talking about is Canada. Canadians need to dress for the weather since it is very cold there. Main modes of transportation in Canada include snowmobile and dogsled. Canadians are also very polite. If you punched a Canadian in the face, they would say, "Sorry, was my face in your way?" They would even give you a tissue to wipe your hand with. Canadians love to eat Tim Hortons and poutine. The current Canadian Prime Minister is Justin Trudeau. Other famous Canadians include Terry Fox, Wayne Gretzky, and Chris Hadfield. The Canadian national sports are ice hockey and lacrosse. They also play curling there. The next country we have is the land of the free and the home of the brave. Americans enjoy their favorite cuisine: fast food. Unfortunately, America is one of the fattest nations on earth. The current U.S. president is Joe Biden. Former presidents include George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, FDR, JFK, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama and Donald Trump. American pop culture and music has been epitomized in characters like Michael Jackson and Elvis Presley. The publicized campaign against racism includes figures like Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, and Harriet Tubman. The NFL, NBA, MLB, and NHL are known as the Big Four. The US is also one of the only countries still using the imperial system. The imperial system is as follows. Average American brain, inch, foot, 6 feet, Tom Brady, Shaq O'Neal, Statue of Liberty, football field. New York contains landmarks such as the Statue of Liberty and the Empire State Building. The Caribbean is our second region and is known for its pristine beaches. Famous people from the Caribbean include Fidel Castro and Usain Bolt. Our next region is Central America, which includes Mexico and other countries. Interestingly, Honduras's official currency is Bitcoin and they even fought a war against El Salvador over a soccer match. Landmarks here include the famous Chichen Itza. The next continent on our list is South America. The longest mountain range in the world. The Andes is located in South America. The driest place in the world. The Atacama Desert is located in Chile. Dubbed the Earth's lungs, the Amazon rainforest is the largest forest and contains the Amazon River. Countries in South America include Brazil, Argentina, and Colombia. Famous people from South America include Pelé, Ronaldo, Maradona, and Lionel Messi. Famous sites on this continent include Christ the Redeemer in Rio, and the tallest waterfall in the world. Up next we have Europe. The highest peak in Europe is Mount Elbrus. But if Russia is not considered part of Europe, the highest mountain is Mont Blanc. Europe is bordered by the Atlantic and Arctic Oceans. It also contains various seas. Mountain ranges in Europe include the Pyrenees, Alps, Apennines, Carpathians, Caucasus, and Ural Mountains. The rest of Europe is dominated by the Great European Plain. There are also a lot of peninsulas in Europe. First up we have Western Europe. Even to this day many people believe some myths about the United Kingdom. The group of island is known as the British Isles. There are two islands, Great Britain and Ireland. The country of United Kingdom has four constituent countries: England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. The Republic of Ireland controls the southern part of Ireland. The Prime Minister of the UK is Boris Johnson. Britons enjoy the two national beverages, tea and rainwater. Famous British leaders from past and present are Queen Elizabeth, Winston Churchill, and Maggie Thatcher. Unbeknownst to many, Churchill was part of the secret Churchill family. He spoke the secret dialect known as Churchillian English. Although he spoke standard English in public, he sometimes forgot which language he was to speak.
And we must expect another blow to be struck, almost immediately. The hospital ships which brought off many thousands of British and French wounded. At any rate, that is what we are going to try to do. That is the resolve of His Majesty's government. The menace of tyranny.
Other famed Britons are Stephen Hawking, Sir Alex, David Beckham, the Beatles and J.K. Rowling. Cricket is the national sport even though football is the most popular. Famous landmarks in the capital are the London Bridge and Big Ben. Next is the country of baguettes, croissants and the Eiffel Tower. French people like to wear striped shirts so they look like they just got out of prison. French people enjoy premium French cuisine like croissants and baguettes. The most popular sport in France is football. They also have the Tour de France there. Famous French people include Napoleon, Charles de Gaulle, Louis XIV, Jacques Cousteau and Joan of Arc. Famous landmarks in Paris include the Eiffel Tower, Louvre Museum, Notre Dame Cathedral and the Arc de Triomphe. The remaining countries in Western Europe include the Netherlands, Monaco, Belgium, Luxembourg, Switzerland and Ireland. Switzerland is known for Swiss cheese, Swiss chocolate, Swiss Army knives and Roger Federer. Belgium also has Belgian waffles, even though they technically came from ancient Greece. Our next region is Scandinavia, also known as Northern Europe. Scandinavian countries are renowned for their use of clean energy. The countries in Scandinavia all have similar flags. They are Sweden, Denmark, Norway, Finland, and Iceland. Sweden has Greta Thunberg, IKEA, Minecraft and Geometry Dash. Denmark has Lego. Norway is really good at the Winter Olympics. Finland is the happiest country and has Nokia. And Iceland is called the land of ice and fire. Next up we have Southern Europe, which includes Italy and Spain. Italians love to eat pizza and spaghetti and get around on their Vespas. Football is also the most popular sport there. Famous Italians include Benito Mussolini, Marco Polo, Christopher Columbus, Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, whose works include David and the Sistine Chapel, and Julius Caesar. The city of Rome contains the Colosseum as well as the Pantheon. Here now we have Spain. In Spain they do not speak Mexican. Famous Spaniards are Rafael Nadal and Sergio Ramos. Spain's most important cities are the capital Madrid and Barcelona. Other famous people from Southern Europe are Cristiano Ronaldo and Pope Francis, who is guarded by his super-strong army, the Pontifical Swiss Guard. The Balkans is a region torn apart by war. The countries of Serbia, Croatia, Bosnia, Slovenia, North Macedonia and Montenegro comprised the former country of Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia was torn apart during the Yugoslav Wars. Famous people from the Balkans are Nikola Tesla, Mother Teresa, and Novak Djokovic. There are also a lot of famous Greek people, although all of them are dead. Landmarks in the Balkans include the Parthenon. Our next country is Germany, the most populous country in the European Union. German people love to eat beer, pretzels, and cabbages. Hamburgers were also invented there. Unsurprisingly, football and ice hockey are popular in Germany. Famous people from Germany include Angela Merkel, Adolf Hitler, Albert Einstein, Beethoven, and Johannes Gutenberg. Berlin is the capital of Germany and has the Berlin Wall and Brandenburg Gate. The remaining countries in Central Europe are Austria, the Czech Republic, Hungary, Poland, Slovakia, and Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein is one of two double landlocked countries. This means that all surrounding countries are landlocked. Other famous Russians are Mikhail Gorbachev, Sergei Korolev, Vladimir Lenin and Joseph Stalin. But perhaps the most powerful Russian ever is none other than the Russian winter. Many have tried to overcome it but have failed. The Swedish tried, that failed. Napoleon tried again, that failed. Hitler tried his luck. We all know how that went. The capital of Russia is Moscow. The most famous things here are the Red Square and St. Basil's Cathedral. The cultural center and former capital of Russia is St. Petersburg. The other countries in Eastern Europe are Ukraine, Moldova, Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania. Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania are known as the Baltic states. Our next continent is the second most populous and second largest continent. Africa. Africa is bordered by the Atlantic and Indian Oceans. The northern part of Africa is covered by the Sahara Desert. The Sahel region is a buffer separating the Sahara and the savanna. The African savanna covers almost half of Africa. The Congo rainforest centers around the Congo River, the second longest river in Africa. The first region in Africa is North Africa, which covers most of the Sahara. Famous landmarks here include the pyramids of Giza and the Sphinx. East Africa was the site of the horrible Rwandan genocide. And Zimbabwe's economy is so bad. The $50 billion note is worth 33 US cents. Or 2 loaves of bread. Central Africa is next on the list. The DRC's capital, Kinshasa, is the largest francophone city in the world. Central African countries are renowned for their use of child soldiers. The last region in Africa is Southern Africa. In 1994, South Africa's apartheid policy finally ended. This movement was headed by none other than Nelson Mandela. Asia is the largest and most populous continent. It contains the highest point on Earth, Mount Everest. Asia also has the world's lowest point on land, the Dead Sea. Asia borders the Arctic, Indian and Pacific Oceans. The Bering Strait separates Russia from Alaska. Central Asia is dominated by the steppe. Mongolia and northeastern China share the Gobi Desert. Asia also contains the highest mountain range, the Himalayas. The Tibetan Plateau is the highest plateau and is called the roof of the world. The Middle East is also called Western Asia. The Middle East has been torn apart by wars. Many nations in the Middle East do not recognize Israel as a nation. Several times Israel has been invaded by its neighbors. Dubai has the world's tallest building, the Burj Khalifa. Next region is Central Asia. Countries here are Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan and Turkmenistan. As you can see here, there is a common trend with the names. But what does stan even mean? You may find it similar to the word stand. Istan is the word for land in Persian. Kyrgyzstan means land of the Kyrgyz or where the Kyrgyz stand. Here we have the overpopulated and overpolluted nation of India. The most famous Indian is probably Gandhi, and they also have Bollywood there. The border with Pakistan is heavily guarded and there is only one point of crossing. Located near the city of Lahore. Every day before sunset, soldiers from both sides have a dance-off. China is the most populous country on Earth. Its current leader is Xi Jinping. China is obviously a democratic country. They just have one party on the ballot. The founder of the CCP was Mao Zedong. Over the years, the Communist Party has committed several human rights violations, including the mistreatment of Uyghurs, police brutality and aggression in Hong Kong. In addition, Chinese people are protected by the Golden Shield. This means they can't watch YouTube or use Google, Facebook, Wikipedia or Netflix. News websites are also blocked. So Chinese people do not know about what the government has been doing. Next up is the island nation of Japan. Japan is well known for anime and manga. Japan's capital Tokyo has the largest urban population. Other countries in East Asia are the Koreas and Mongolia. North Korea's democratic dictator is Kim Jong-un. South Korea has BTS and Mongolia has Genghis Khan. The last region in Asia is known for its temples and cosmetics industry. And finally we have the continent of Oceania. The country of Australia covers the entire continental mainland. Australians love to eat Vegemite and even lost a war against their own national bird. Famous Australians include Steve Irwin, Thor, Wolverine and Kate Blanchett. Australia's major cities are located on the coast. Famous stuff here include the cool Sydney Opera House. Finally we have the last continent, Antarctica is not a country, although several nations have laid claim to portions of it. It even has its own flag, which actually looks pretty cool. So today we've covered 7 continents and 195 countries. That's about it for today, and I hope you learned something today and enjoyed the video.